Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Esther and welcome back to the wonderful world of vegan cheese making. Last time on my channel we made some vegan cream cheese from this book here and I thought it was delicious. It definitely beat out the 5-minute cream cheese. And today I'm making from the same book a meltable Monterey Jack. So a Monterey Jack is a very basic, plain cheese, and the ingredients for this recipe are also very basic and plain, and it seems easy enough. So we're going to try it. It does have to rest, gain flavors for a 24-hour period, so it just gets some of the sharpness, just a little bit of a cheese. And then the interesting thing is that we're gonna make basically a sauce right now, and it's gonna get sharp. But then in 24 hours, we're gonna put it on the stove with Kappa Carrageenan, which is a vegan cheese agent. It helps it thicken, and some tapioca starch, which will also help it thicken. But the Kappa Carrageenan is very important for vegan cheeses in their meltability and stretchability after they've already been cooked. So it'll become moldable, softer but still molded cheese that you can slice or possibly shred. We're going to test that out once the cheese is done. But then it'll be remeltable for stuff like pizzas and pastas. So I'm excited to try this, excited to see how it tastes, and excited to give you my rating. So let's go. I have here with me half a cup of water and half a cup of oil. You can see them quite clearly separated. It's canola oil as per the recipe's instructions. I imagine you can use vegetable oil or any other neutral flavored oil, but I'm gonna stick to 100% the recipe and see how it goes. So I'm gonna put that in my little mini Vitamix blender. I'm excited because now we have this little mini one and not just a giant base to try and blend like a tiny amount of ingredients. So I'm not making a 5-minute version today because for the most part the 5-minute versions are just exactly the same, and you still require Kappa Carrageenan just with a added acidity of like lemon or apple cider vinegar. And I decided in the previous video that the apple cider or the lemon, you're still left with an aftertaste of either apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. This, where you let it sit to develop its flavor, gives it a much more authentic, like real flavor to it than having like the acidity from something added to it. So we're just going to try this base level, see how it goes. It has 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and I'm sure that'll be fantastic for giving it the flavor, because really that's its only seasoning. They have a Munster available, which is basically the same exact recipe except for you add a tablespoon of nutritional yeast flakes, which provide a cheesy flavor and things, and I'm sure that will be good too. But I want to use this for ziti, so we're going to see how it goes. And then we're going to go 1 entire cup of plain unsweetened non-dairy yogurt. So I have my Forager cashew milk yogurt. It's my favorite unsweetened yogurt. If I'm going sweetened yogurts, I always upvote coconut, but for plain, this stuff is delicious. Okay, so this is it, 1 entire cup of my Forager cashew milk yogurt, and I'm going to put that in the blender too, as it splashes me in the face. Very exciting. So I'm going to blend this.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I blended it for about a minute because at the top I could see just like a little film of the oil, and I wanted to make sure it was completely incorporated before I stopped blending. But it is really smooth, looks good, smells like cashew milk yogurt. I'm gonna dump it into this clean, sterilized glass container. Make sure it's dry when you use it. And then it's going to sit on the counter for 24 hours to enrich in flavor, and then I'll be back with you to thicken it on the stove with our tapioca starch and our Kappa Carrageenan. But for now, we just have our lovely sauce. And this will be my molding jar too. It'll come out as like a wheel of cheese. The Wheel of Fortune. Vegan cheese is the prize. Awesome. Okay, so there it is. It is just water, oil, cashew milk, yogurt, and salt right now. And I'm gonna let it sit for 24 hours just on my nice room temperature counter. So I'll be back with you in 24 hours.
Later.
Hello and welcome back. It has been 24 hours and my cheese has been culturing. The sauce is here and now I'm ready to thicken it on the stove. So I have with me 3 tablespoons of just tapioca flour. I have the Bob's Red Mill variety, but any should be fine. And the most magical ingredient that really makes this come together, 2 tablespoons of Kappa Carrageenan. It even says magical ingredients for the modern cook. This is basically what makes vegan cheese vegan cheese. It's one of the only things that can really thicken your cheese to be shreddable, sliceable. So we're going to finish this cheese today. Well, we're gonna thicken it today and then we're gonna chill it before we can use it. So I have my sauce here. It's still pretty liquidy, but it's been culturing for 24 hours, so it should have a nice tart taste to it, but not too sharp. You can even see some like little air bubbles forming at the top there. So I'm gonna just pour this into a saucepan right here, and I'm gonna whisk in the Kappa Carrageenan and tapioca flour, and we're gonna cook it on a medium heat for 10 minutes until it's glossy and thick and starts to pull away from the sides of our pan. So I'm gonna bring you in closer so you can see what's going on. Okay, so I have my pot here on a medium heat. I made sure to scrape this bowl as clean as possible, and that's what it looks like because we're gonna use this container again for a remolding after this is all cooked. And I'm gonna put in my tapioca starch just like that, and our Kappa Carrageenan. And we're gonna whisk this continuously until it's thickened. Start careful at first so you don't flip powders everywhere. And make sure to whisk out all of the lumps. Ooh, it's getting thicker. It's leaving little pull lines as I whisk. It's like really shiny, like it almost looks pearlescent, to be honest. Okay, it's getting a lot thicker. It's basically the consistency of a roux, but like a lot of it, so I'm still waiting to make sure it's completely pulling away from the sides. And I'm whisking to make sure no lumps form. And it's just getting thicker. Okay, now it is so thick that it is very hard to stir, and I think this is what it means when it says it's pulling away from the sides. So I think we're done thickening, which was really fast, but I'm going to put this into my mold so it molds really nice and flatten it out. Okay, so this is my mold and this is my cheese all done. It's really firm now. And I'm just gonna put it back in the mold and it should firm up from here. I'm going to chill it and I'm only gonna use it tomorrow, but the recipe says you can use this in 2 hours. Once it's completely firm, it can unmold and be used from there. But yeah, it's come away like really well from the pan and it's really, really, really thick. So I'm gonna press it down as much as possible. I can already see that it's like gelling up, so work quickly by doing this. And just a side note, I had to get my Kappa Carrageenan from Amazon because we couldn't find it in any health food store. It's a hard ingredient to acquire, but if you're in the cheese making business, you'll definitely need it. So invest in some Kappa Carrageenan. Amazon's a good place to buy it, or if you have a better health food store than mine, you might be able to find it. Okay, so that's that. I can't really smooth it anymore because it's tearing up a little bit. I'm going to leave it in there just like that, and I'm going to put the lid back on and let it cool for 2 hours, and I'll be back with you for the unmolding in a while.
Later.
Okay, so now my cheese is completely cooled. It's been a full 24 hours since I put it in my fridge, but you can just mold it as soon as up to 2 hours after it's been cooling. So I have it in this jar here. I'm just gonna take our lid off. It smells fine. To the touch, it's like firm, but not sticky. So we're gonna try and unmold this, and I have 3 tests for you: the taste test, a sliceability test, and a shreddability test. So let's start with unmolding. Hopefully it comes out easy enough. I have some little like edge pieces, but that's not the cheese's fault. That's my fault for not smoothing it down well. Oh, there's a little bit of like moisture. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna try and mold this. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, it felt out really easy. And it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice round. Maybe I could have flattened it a little bit better, but yeah, it came out nice. Okay, so we're just gonna get a slice. It slices pretty well. It's still kind of soft. It's definitely like not hard cheese, but it holds up. Like, it's not like cream cheese consistency. I'm gonna try and slice it again. So you can get like pretty thin slices out of it. It makes me question its like shreddability, if maybe you should just slice it, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna give you a taste test really quick to see what it tastes like, how good it turned out. It's really white, so. I like it. It's pretty good. I mean, it tastes like a vegan cheese. I'm not gonna be that judgy here, because this is a cheese that's supposed to be like remeltable for like stuff like pizza or whatever. You could chop it up into little pieces like this and have it melt on your pizza. And so, as that's how it's intended to be, I can't be that judgy about it just being like a cold cheese, because there are recipes in that book specifically for like hard sliceable cheeses for sandwiches or eating on crackers or plain or whatever, and this one was specifically intended to be like a meltable, remeltable cheese. So for flavor, I give it 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's salty. It has a pretty mild flavor to it, but it's supposed to be a Monterey Jack cheese, which is a pretty mild flavored cheese anyway, so no judgment there. It's really good. It has a cheesy feel to it, but I wouldn't say it tastes like cheese, obviously. Now I'm just going to take this little like chunk here off the edge. It feels really soft to me, so I feel like it's going to have some trouble shredding, but I'm just going to use like this big side of my grater and see how it does. See if we can get some shreds out of it. It almost feels like a mozzarella. It's so soft. Maybe it would harden over time. I don't know. There was a lot of condensation buildup. Yeah, see, it's like mashing to the thing and not shredding very well. Like on the inside, it just comes out like that. So shreddability is a big no-go. But sliceability, it'll come off like this in little chunks. And it should be perfectly meltable. As far as taste, I think it's good. I would make this again, and I feel like this will be really good in pasta and on pizza. But we will make together a hard sliceable cheese that's meant to be eaten cold in the future, and we'll see how that one is. So if you're in need of a pizza cheese or a pasta cheese, go with this one. I think it's pretty good. There's some other flavors and adaptations you can make. You can make this into a pepper jack or a Munster or anything else you really liked pretty easily, just adding the right seasonings. So it's worth a try if you need a meltable vegan cheese. If you want to buy the ones at the store, that's fine, but this one is a much lower price point than the ones in the store. So there's that. And it's not that hard, super easy. Easy ranking, 10 out of 10, because this required like almost no effort, except for finding the Kappa Carrageenan. Well, if you have that, or once you obtain it, it should be pretty easy, because there's enough in a Kappa Carrageenan bag to make like lots of these cheeses. So give it a try, and if you do give it a try, let me know in the comments down below how you liked it and how well it worked in your recipes and what recipes you used it in. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked this video, and subscribe for more content like this every single Wednesday. And I love you so much. Goodbye.